Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode. We are super excited to dive into part 2 with our friend Kristel talking about where do I fit in. But before we do, you know the drill. Let's roll.
Let's do it.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Part 2 of this conversation. And we're really excited. If you have not watched part 1, hit the pause button. This will be here. You can come back and watch it.
Yep.
And then go watch part 1 because that is going to set up the second half of this conversation of where do I fit with our friend Kristel. Welcome back.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Give us a little bit of a reminder of who you are.
My name is Kristel Acevedo. I'm the Discipleship Director at Transformation Church in South Carolina. I'm also an author and a wife and a mom to the greatest kids in the world. So, yeah.
They're so cute. Our boys share a name too.
Yeah.
And this is the book that Kristel co-authored, and it's 3 big questions that shape your future. And in case you missed it in the last episode, we talked about how this is like such a perfect gift for just teenagers in that like later high school stage where like maybe they're about to make some big decisions about their life and what direction they're going. And I love it because it's in like a 60-day like format. Like you guys did a great job on
Little
this.
bite-sized pieces every day.
Every day, and it looks like a text, and then it asks a question. Like, yeah, I just love it. So, like, well done. This is so good and phenomenal book. But okay, we're picking back up. We were talking about belonging, this idea of belonging with God, belonging with others, and I want to talk about a couple of things on this part. But one of them is people pleasing is not belonging, and I was really excited to talk about this. I am a recovering people pleaser. I say this: I will recover till I go to heaven because I'm not in my perfect self, and I'm still human. I'm still flawed, and I still want the approval and acceptance of people. But as I've grown up, I've learned I'm more aware of when I am people pleasing versus when I'm trying to just belong, you know, and just be part. And so there is a difference. There's a difference between people pleasing and there's a difference between belonging. Right. So break that down.
Yeah.
Tell us all your thoughts. I read that part as an adult. I
Right.
read that and I was like,
You're like,
this
oh,
is so good. But I wish I had this.
Yeah,
When I was a
for
teen, I
sure.
wish I had someone that wrote it so beautifully. And you guys did a phenomenal job. So yeah,
Thank
talk
you.
about that.
I mean, people pleasing is something that many people struggle with, so you're not alone.
Yeah, thank God.
And I think we do that because we think that if we can make people like us, then they won't reject us. Therefore, we will belong with that person, with that group.
Yeah.
But that's a lie because if you're having to change who you are, change your personality, change your opinions in order to fit in with a group or with a person, then are you actually fitting?
Yeah.
I would say not because you're not getting to be who you are. And
good.
so actual belonging means that you get to be your authentic self as God created you to be, and people can accept that or not.
Yeah.
And if they don't, that's okay. If you're not someone's cup of tea, that's okay because you still are loved and beloved and worthy and you are valued, and that's okay if you don't. We're not always going to get along with everyone. But if I can challenge everyone to just be your authentic self, then you'll find your people and you will belong.
Yeah, amen. I love that. See, man, if only I had someone when I was a teenager tell me that. Someone probably tried to, and I was
know,
like,
and we're
you're
like,
so
whatever,
dumb.
man.
You don't get it. Yeah. Did you have a thought on that?
You know, I don't, but here's the thing. Like, for me, I'm a servant. You know, like, I love serving people.
Yeah.
I love allowing my hands and the things that I do speak for me. Just because I'm introvert, I don't like to talk, so I let my actions speak for me.
Yeah. Hey, that's beautiful
And so
too.
there are times where I find myself wanting to do things to get people's approval. And but like you said, you know, as you grow older, you start to recognize it. You start to not specifically focus on the attention of others, but you continue to do what you're doing just because it's the way that God created you, and you want to make the things around you better.
Yeah.
And so through that, people, you know, will recognize you. They'll give you the attention that you deserve, but it's not your identity, and it's not exactly who you are attained to be, because you are already chosen, you're already set apart.
Right.
and you do not
that's
need
good.
that from people.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we are living for the applause of one, and that's the applause of God. And I know that that's a cliche thing to say, but there's so much truth in that. And when you can remind yourself, like that's what I remind myself of all the time. Who am I asking to applaud me right now? It's always the question when I find myself slipping between, am I people pleasing? Am I trying to belong, to be part of God's family, part of his community? Like that's always a question I wrestle with, of like, whose applause am I asking for by doing this, by saying this, by being this, by acting this way? And if it is people, I reevaluate. And if it's God, then I simply just want to be part of his community.
Right, yeah.
And again, if it's people, then I evaluate and I go, wait, why do I need their applause? Why do I need that? God made me. He's already proud of me. He is like, he created me. He finds joy in me. He delights in me. I'm already approved by him. Yeah.
And the hard truth is that if God's acceptance of you is not enough, then nobody's acceptance of you will be enough.
good.
You're gonna keep it's a losing battle.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep searching for it. You're gonna keep trying, and you're gonna be exhausted.
Yes.
And you're never gonna find what you're looking for until you find it in Jesus.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah, that's so good. And I also want to talk about belonging in a digital world, because it kind of leads to that, right? Like people pleasing isn't just in person.
Right.
How many times do we hide behind masks and try to please everybody that sees our stuff online or sees the persona we put online? And belonging in a digital world, which is another one that you hit in here, another topic. I love every single topic that you guys have in here. And I'm like, man, I just want to do a whole 60 week series. We talked about it. I was like, we could just take one topic every week and bust through this. Yeah. And so anyway, belonging in a digital world.
Yeah.
The truth is we live in a very, very digital world.
Yes.
Everything is online. Everything is available online. Our personas are online. And I mean, even I think about my kids. My kids have a digital footprint before they've even created one themselves, because I put them on social media and I post about them and I share about them and all that stuff. Like I've given them, and that's almost like a little bit of conviction, but also like it is my social media. It's my kids. I'm going to share.
Sure.
And that's just our stance. But we create digital footprints for ourselves. And a lot of the times they're created for us by the things people post about us or people share about us or things people say about us online. And so belonging in a digital world.
Well, okay, I will say that I am an internet girly. Okay, I am not one of these people who's like, social media is trash, throw it away.
Come on.
I have grown up. I was on MySpace. Yeah, I've been on it since I was in high school, you know. It can be all-consuming and overwhelming, and it can be negative.
Yeah.
I don't want to just say, oh, whatever, who cares? Just go be yourself, post online, whatever. I will say that if you enter into the digital space, you should do so with intention and with wisdom.
Yes, that's good.
Because it's true, those things are on there, okay, forever, right? And it can also be very deceiving. It can be deceiving because we think we're connecting with people because we're posting online and someone likes our picture, or someone, you know, comments on one of our posts or whatever. And so we think we're connecting, but that doesn't always mean we're actually truly connecting.
Yeah, that's good.
I truly believe that while the digital space is a beautiful space, I mean, our friendship started online. Like this is the first time we've met in person,
absolutely.
right? But we've known each other for what, like 2 years? Because we've been commenting back and forth on Instagram, and then we've been texting. And so I think there is a beautiful way that you can form relationships on there, but I truly also believe that we are embodied, right? We are physical beings. And so we need embodied relationships as well, which is why we need to belong to like the local church and these places where we can physically be with one another. And so, yes, I champion digital spaces. I think they're a great tool to share the gospel, to form community across the nation and across the world, to have awareness of what's going on in our world. However, we can't stop there. We can't just be like, okay, I'm just going to live in the digital world and that's it. I think we need to take it a step further and have physical relationships. And I think that when we engage in the online space, we have to do so with intention and wisdom.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. As someone who is not online much, but consumes being online. Yeah. That's just where you are. And that's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, there's no like blueprint of like how you like how each person should be. Like what you engage and what you receive from certain things isn't going to be what someone else does as well.
Yeah.
And
like
so,
our feeds look very different.
Yes, our feeds look very different.
Yours are sports heavy.
The way that we interact with people.
I don't understand it.
You know, it is what it is.
It's okay.
Algorithms. The way that you interact with people, like a lot of us have different intentions when we go onto
Right.
the internet and social media. And so, like you said, like we have to walk into it with wisdom.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you're only using it to, you know, please yourself, to allow these things to make yourself feel better, and you're not trying to learn from it or grow a relationship through it, you know, it's going to eventually, you know, leave you feeling empty and feeling like you have nothing to hold on to.
Yeah.
You don't have that physical embodiment. You don't have like something that you can tangibly, you know, put your foot down and say, yes, I'm good with this. And so it's living a life solely based online. It's like a, you know, building your house on sand. Eventually it's just gonna erode away, and you're gonna be left, you know, falling.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I don't put so much emphasis on
for sure.
allowing myself to be engaged. Like, I engage online, I engage in social media, and I love the internet, but I don't allow it to become what I build my life upon, or put everything out there where it's like, this is where all my eggs are, you know, they're right here.
Yeah.
And so,
well, and it's not the place that you find belonging to. And I think that that's the part for me, and what I understand of like belonging in a digital age. Like, it is beautiful. It connected us, absolutely. But then to have the moment where we meet in real life, it's like, well, this is what it's about. This means so much more to me than any picture you'll like or comment on or share or whatever on social media. Like, it just means so much more because this is how we were created.
Exactly.
Like, we were created this way. And social media is a beautiful thing, and it can connect us, but it shouldn't be the only place where we find our community, where we connect with people, and or the place where we separate who we really are from who we think we want to be. Because I think that's another part with the digital space is we can create a persona. We can catfish people online, if you will, have a Finsta or whatever you want to call it, a second Instagram account. Is that even a thing anymore? I don't know, but
it's a thing.
It's a thing. Okay, good. I'm like, but not good. That's not what I meant. It's not good that there's a Finsta. I was like, good, I got it right. I'm still relevant. But no, I think like for far too long we've gotten to this place where social media has become the breeding ground for fake authenticity and fake community, and it's
fake vulnerability.
Fake vulnerability, all of it. And so it is beautiful. It is a place we can belong, but it is not the only place, and it should not be. It should not be all the eggs in the basket, the only place.
Absolutely.
And so, I love that. Like you included that. That's phenomenal. And then the one last part that I want to talk about is family. You have a chapter in there. When family gets complicated and what that looks like. And so can you talk about that? Because I'm sure people watching.
I mean,
complex families. We all have them.
We all have them. We all have them. I mean, all families can be messy. Even the most idyllic families that you see on Instagram, maybe, that are posing with their perfect smiles, there are messy moments in all families. And I think that what can be hard is when it's more messy than it is beautiful. And because the family is like your primary, like it's the first place in which you belong, like the family you're born into, like that's what you know, right? And people, if they have dysfunctional families, can grow up with an erroneous idea of what it means to love, what it means to have grace for people, what it means to relate to others. And that can cause a lot of hurt. It can cause resentment. It can cause alienation. And I want people to know, or I think we want teenagers to know, is that even if your family is messy, you can be a change agent for health, for love, for beauty, for grace. That teenagers are not just the church of tomorrow, they're the church of today. And so if Jesus has captured your heart and you're in a family where that's not a reality, you can be that presence in your family of love, of the love of Jesus. And you can help turn that family around. But then the other part of it is that when you say yes to Jesus, is that now you're a part of God's global family. And you have brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers that maybe are not blood related, but you are related through the blood of Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that is a beautiful thing that we can embrace, and we don't have to feel badly about the messiness of our families, that we can just see it for what it is and accept it for what it is. And if we need therapy, we do that too, and that's okay.
For sure.
But that we don't have to let it drag us down, and that we have agency to be God's agents of change.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, one of our friends, he's been on the show several times, Elliot Bland, he said something to me in January of 2023 that has like literally just been like a resonating piece in my mind. It ran in my family until it ran into me. And I think that we forget that we have the power to change the course of our future, even if we come from a complicated, complex, messy family, house, whatever it looks like. Like that doesn't need to be the forever. And that's not to dishonor our families, not to dishonor the family we came from or the parents that we had from birth at all. We still honor them. We still love them. That's God's command that we honor our mother and our father. But it is to say, like, I just want something different. And that's okay, because you know what? At the end of the day, you're going to be a parent one day too. You're going to grow up. And the best way to do that is to grow up into the person that you feel like God has created you to be and called you to be. It's not dishonoring your parents to do that.
No way.
That's actually how God created it.
And I think we can look at our parents with compassion, knowing that they did the best that they could.
Absolutely. Come on.
You know?
Yeah, you can't knock your parents for situations they were in or the trauma that they had in their life.
Yeah.
Like, I think generations back in my family, and my mom was born and raised in Germany, and my grandma was born and raised there. I don't know what they faced. And so the decisions that were made in the family then, they wouldn't be the same decisions that we would make now, but that was what they had to do, or the best decision that they could make for the time that they were in. Like, there's grace for that.
Absolutely.
And so, but you still have the power to be the changing agent and change it for your family.
Yeah.
So,
We talk about belonging. We talk about fitting in. You know, it always puts this picture in my mind of as we are the body of Christ. You think of your physical body, and you think of all the different moving pieces of, like, you know, your hands to your feet. They serve a different purpose. They look different. And so a lot of times when it comes to belonging with other people, you don't think like, oh, my hand and my foot, they can't associate, you know, but you're supposed, they're meant to do work together.
Right.
They're needed.
And so when you allow yourself to look at other people and say they are the body of Christ, or they are valued for what they can do, it changes the way that you interact with them and the way that you do value them, and allow yourself to feel like you can belong with them. And so what would you encourage, you know, students, next generation, like how can they change that in their mind of saying, like, even though they look different, even though they believe different things, they do different things than I do, how can they still be a part of the same family as me?
Yeah. You know, it has to start with this. Our God is so creative. Like, I think you said it, how boring would it be if we were all the same?
Yes.
No, God doesn't want that. Our God is so creative and imaginative. Like, look at this beautiful world he created. Look at the people, how different they are. Not just, we all look different, which is cool, but then even we all have different personalities, different talents, different gifts. And I think when we, like, notice that, and we see even like that we are all created in God's image. And so that means that we each reflect God in unique ways, because we're not the same, right? So that means we each have a unique way in which we're reflecting God into this world. And so when we ignore that, or when we step away from that, or when we marginalize that, we're missing out on experiencing a unique aspect of God's image.
That's so good. Yep.
And so invite people in who are different from you, so that you can experience God in unique and beautiful ways. And that's all I can give you. Like, how beautiful to be able to experience God.
That's
you know,
good.
That's so good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I know we have one more episode with you. We're going to get filmed and out, and just excited for that conversation as well. But before we go, I just want to remind you guys, she does have an incredible book, and there's a parent version, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So what's
called
that
3
called?
Big Questions That Change Every Teenager.
Change Every Teenager. Amazing. And so parents, if you're watching, or, you know, students, teens, young adults, whoever, tell all the parents in your world, tell your parents to read that one. But grab this book. Seriously, it's so good, and it's very bite-sized. You could read a page, literally one page a day for 60 days, and God will transform and just shape your future into what he has created for you. So thank you so much for being with us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, well, we couldn't have you here for 3 episodes and not have some fun. So we're going to have some fun. You have come to the West Coast.
I'm here.
The best coast, by the way. You're going to learn. You've already had your Dutch Bros.
Yes, and it was delicious.
Yeah, well, we're going to introduce you to Cane's. It's also delicious.
Okay.
But we're going to play a little bit of like a hot take, okay? So while we eat Cane's, and we have cane sauce here. You can try that. We can start there. We're just going to answer some spicy questions. We have some hot sauces. So why don't you tell us about our hot sauces?
I mean, we have a selection of mild, medium, and hot, so we'll progressively get hotter with the hot sauce, but maybe the questions will get spicier.
Maybe they'll get spicier.
As well.
Or our responses will get spicier. One of the two.
But no, we had a friend that let us use these hot sauces. They're from one of his friends out of Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
You know,
They make their own hot sauce, which I think is like, what does your house smell like? It has to be
Are
burning.
their eyes burning?
I know.
Like, are they crying all the time?
Or are they so used to it that they don't even like, they're so like.
They're immune.
Yeah, they're immune. There it is. They're immune to it. All right. Well, I think that before we start asking any questions, I think you should try a Cane's chicken
Yeah.
with some
With the
cane
sauce?
sauce.
yeah, you
Okay.
gotta start there first.
Now,
break a piece?
yeah, go for it. Or have a slice. It doesn't matter. We got 6 pieces there. I'm interested to see, as someone who is from the South-ish.
South-ish. I'm from Miami.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're then from the South. But
I live in
Chick-fil-A,
the South.
Cane's, how you
Yeah.
feeling? Yeah.
Okay,
So let
here
us
you go.
know. Let us know your thoughts.
Listen, I'm not gonna let you eat alone, so
Juicy.
Yeah, juicy, right? It is juicy. What I like about Cane's over Chick-fil-A is the crispy, like outside. The outside is crispier.
no.
I like it.
The sauce is what
Cane
makes
sauce is so good.
Cane's what it is.
To be honest, I'm not a huge Chick-fil-A fan. I know.
Gosh.
You can't live in the South and not love Chick-fil-A.
That's why
but
you're
Right.
South-ish, so it's fine.
In Miami, we didn't have Chick-fil-A growing up, so I didn't know
Yeah.
what. Can I tell you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was Chick-fil-A the first time I saw it. Like, what's Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
Embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. That's actually wild.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Billy, and start us out
All right,
with
so we're gonna
mild.
start with a mild sauce. It's just a garlic, cilantro, jalapeno.
Okay.
Go ahead and grab a chicken. Just a little
Here we
bite.
Now, we're not like chickening out here. Like it's not like eat it or answer. It's like you answer and
Yeah.
you eat. Like
Okay.
you don't have a choice. Now, I need to say, I am not a hot sauce person at all. Like my spice tolerance is probably that of a newborn.
Not a newborn.
Yeah, maybe a toddler. Maybe I graduated to a toddler. But this is a what again?
Cilantro, a garlic cilantro jalapeno.
Okay.
So it's a mild sauce.
All right.
So
I have my question ready. So this one, I'm actually excited because your husband is a creative. Okay. Is TikTok ruining creativity?
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
is
that has a
That's
kick.
not that. That's good.
That has a kick.
I like it.
I'm scared for the
like
other
Ashley
two.
said, she has the spice tolerance of a baby. So
Okay, answer the question.
any heat, and she starts sweating.
I
All right.
think.
Is it ruining creativity?
I think yes. Only because you see the same videos over, like recreated over and over again. It's like funny the first time, like, oh, that's clever, but then you start seeing the same video 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm over it now.
come up with your own jokes. You know?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get the next one ready. You can
I have my question ready.
get your question ready.
It's a little bit spicier.
Okay.
All right,
let's
let's
see.
start with.
Do you think TikTok's ruining creativity?
You know what? I'm not on TikTok.
You're not.
He said, "What's TikTok?"
Okay, just a little bit for you because I know a
Okay.
lot's.
What's
not-
this one?
This is. All right, hold on.
It's a medium.
This is a medium.
Okay.
I see mango. I love
This
mango.
is
I
a
love mango
Scotch,
too.
a Scotch bonnet mango. So this is a medium in this lineup.
Okay. Okay, it wasn't bad. The after kick though on that. Did you get the after kick on that, mild?
I thought it was
All right,
good.
cool.
I-
You
yeah.
are definitely not a newborn.
I don't know
in your
about
spice.
this.
All right,
I'm
here we
like
go.
trying to smell it.
I got my question. You ready?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. Can you be friends with an ex? Why or why not? I have a very. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have milk here. Thank you to our team.
That's not bad either. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself.
I'm gonna die
Wow.
on that third one. I need to cool my mouth down. I don't think that you should be friends with your ex. There's so many reasons why. I just don't think you should. Can
One
you?
reason.
Sure.
Give one reason why. That's all.
I think you're constantly going to be looking back.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's going to be there. It's going to be something that like can hold you back, will make you look back, will make you compare a
Yeah.
current
Yes,
relationship or a future
100%.
relationship. So that's my opinion. I
Yeah.
don't think you can be friends with an ex, but
Okay.
I agree with you. I don't think you can be friends with an ex, and just don't go there.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Not good.
I agree. I think just with all the emotions, I think that it can happen. You can be, friends with an ex, but 99% of the time, it's not good. It's not going to
Yeah.
end well for you.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Last one.
We're going to eat this one, and then you can ask the question. I want this
Okay.
one to simmer. This one's a little hotter.
Oh. Okay.
I was gonna say you need to put more than that.
I have one. Can I ask the question now?
You can ask.
Okay.
Sorry. I just need to...
Wait, did you just try it?
No.
Okay.
But
He's trying to make it pour out
it was
more.
a little...
Let me cleanse my palate because that's spicy. I'm going to die on this one. What is this one?
This one's this is a fire roasted red. So,
Okay. He has a ghost pepper one,
yes.
and I will.
a couple
It's in my fridge, but I will
Hot
never.
ones. But we didn't.
I don't know. I feel like
opted
you
to
gave
those.
me
He
a
was
lot.
so
Billy.
nice. Wow. You can. It's okay. I can go to her.
All right.
Her dollop.
Eat
Billy got a
first.
good dollop.
Eat first.
No.
Yes, and then as
And
the
then ask
heat.
the question.
Okay, I'm gonna get the question ready. Is it better as a teenager to be single or in a relationship,
As a teenager.
As a teenager.
or a young adult? Like when you're young. Oh my gosh. Nope. 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 I'm gonna start crying.
That's
not that bad either.
It's got nice
I'm
little.
such a
Wow.
wimp.
Comes on at the end.
Am I a hot sauce girly?
might
I
be.
think I might be.
You told me that you don't do spice.
I know, but look at me. Wow.
What I'll say to this is if you're more focused on a relationship with someone else versus your relationship with God, then it's not for you.
Cut.
Done.
First and
Same.
foremost, get your relationship with God first. And sometimes that takes you through your teens and into
Yeah.
your 20s to figure that out and to know who you are, how he created
Yeah.
you. And so don't let your
There goes the hot sauce.
there it is. Don't let your relationship with people overpower your relationship with God.
That
That's
is
really
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
Wise.
100%. I agree. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
And
Well done.
honestly, I think you should just be single when you're in high school.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna
just
say
have
that.
fun.
God, the synapses in the brain, it's like the chemicals, the
Yeah.
hormones.
You're not making wise decisions.
Let's just be single.
lot of the times,
Let's just
yeah.
be single.
And
Also,
from studies,
I feel
males don't fully develop till they're 25.
Yeah, so ladies,
in
what
their
he's
brain.
saying is that the guys aren't going to be fully developed anyway, so just don't try. Yeah, well, this was fun. What's your
Yeah.
favorite one?
The first one.
I
I do
actually thought that
feel
was good.
the third one is starting to
You feel a little tingle.
a little tingly in the mouth there.
Well, but I did the wrong thing. I shoved the chicken to the furthest back I could. So just like right in like the back of my
back
throat
here?
is like burning right now.
Yeah.
But thank God for milk. So, all right, guys, cheers. We did it.
Cheers.
We
We
have a
did
better
it.
spice tolerance than you guys have a better spice tolerance.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week. We just wanted to take a second to say thank you so much for watching The Firebrand Show.
Yeah, and for continuing to support us. And there's a few ways that you can do that simply by praying for The Firebrand Show. You can follow along and watch The Firebrand Show, and then you can also give towards The Firebrand Show.
That's right. And if you want to learn how you can partner with us and invest in the next generation, just go to ctnonline.com/Firebrand.
Yeah, you can also follow us on all social media platforms at The Firebrand Show, and just search The Firebrand Show on YouTube.
Hey guys, we are on set today filming our new show, Firebrand.
Live this life where Jesus is seen. Be a light.
This is living and active.
Yeah.
And if the Bible is living and active, that means that this is going to speak to generation to generation to generation.